This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. This episode of Play the Game podcast is brought to you by HK Army, and PTG listeners, do I have a treat for you. If you are playing NXL Chicago, HK Army is offering a special paint promo to PTG listeners only. HK has made constant improvements to their paintball formula, which is leading to more consistent results come tournament time. Myself and the entire Houston Heat squad have been feasting with HK Army paint at the events, and I can't wait to see you all out there in Chicago shooting it soon. You will even be able to test the event paint yourself at NXL Chicago once you arrive at the venue. Be sure to email teams@hkarmy.com. That is TEAMS at HKARMY.com and ask for the PTG Paint promo to find out how your team can get the hookup on paintballs for NXL Chicago. Don't wait. Do it right now. Email teams@hkarmy.com. Today's episode of PTG is brought to you by the one and only Trans Labs that brought the world two amazing products. First off, Transfuse, which is a hydration multiplier, and most recently, they just dropped Transcend, which is a nootropic energy formula. No matter what you use, when you choose Trans Labs, you are going to be boosted and you are going to be ready to charge the paintball field and win out there. With Transfuse, that is a premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. And they use all natural ingredients in this product. We've got zinc, we've got vitamin B6, we've got vitamin C, sodium, potassium, choline, and it is an amazing way to make sure that you're hydrated and prepared to play top-level paintball. When it comes to Transcend, that is a premium nootropic energy formula designed to increase cognitive performance, elevate mood and clarity while supporting long-term brain health, and it's going to leave you feeling great with no crash or jitters. It's one of the only products in the nootropic space backed by research studies to ensure the formula is correct for optimal performance. It is more potent than anything on the market, and it will keep you charged and ready to win out there. I take one scoop, but if you're stimulant sensitive, take a half scoop. And if you want that LFG dose to launch to the moon, dump 2 scoops in your drink and you are going to be flying down that paintball field. Comes in 2 delicious flavors, Baja Blast and Skittles Candy for the Transcend. And for the Transfuse, they have 2 new flavors as well, Pineapple Express and Hawaiian Punched. So if you get a chance, head over to translabs.com. That's TRANZLABS.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME and you'll get 10% off. If you subscribe to a monthly delivery service, you also get 10% off as well. So you can take advantage of 20% off on these products. Head over to translabs.com and give it a go.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
Came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Play the Game podcast. What's going on, PTG? Yeah, we're in the building, and this is episode number 206. Thank you all for your continued support on the journey of podcasting and paintball stories and everything that goes into the game that we love. How you doing, Marchie? What's going on, dude?
My brother, I am good. Just got back from Virginia Beach over the weekend. I was out there working with Wrecking Crew. Like half the team is the Team USA kids, so we were playing on the European Paris layout, which was awesome.
Yes.
Did a little, some extra reps with the boys. team looked really good. Young Stevie was out there, of course. And yeah, it was a really good weekend. Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
How about you?
And it was great. I'm looking forward to USA taking over and just coming in for that championship in France
Mhm.
to play some good paintball. We're hungry and we've been working really hard. And I'm going to be going to Kentucky this weekend. They're going to have the layout there. And then I'll be going to Virginia Beach with Heat next weekend, and they'll have the layup as well. So we'll get some spins on it.
Yeah, you're going to the same field I was just at.
Yeah,
Chesapeake something, I think. It's NRG's
that's
main
right.
field. Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful facility. So, yeah, have you been there?
This is my first time. I'm excited to check it out.
Cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was awesome. Really nice turf. Two good airball fields. They have like a rec side as well. Didn't really venture over there. Looks like they have a nice hyperball field. Yeah, the hospitality was amazing. So cool. You guys will have a good practice.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Virginia Beach. We're coming in hot for the East Coast, so be on the lookout over there. And then we've got some just news in the paintball world. SC Village held the final Hormesis 1v1, and our boy Todd Boyer took the
Dude,
big W out there. Let's go, Todd.
I love that he was just on the show. That kid is so
Yeah.
hungry. He travels all around the country to play paintball events, and he puts himself out there. He's unafraid of failure, right? Which is a really important thing. We talk about that on the
Mhm.
show a lot. You can't be afraid to, have these failures. You just got to keep trying. And now he's the champ, and he got a berth to the final event, which will be at the WCPPL at the
No way.
end of October. Yeah, so he gets
Okay.
to compete for 10 grand now.
Sheesh. Let's go, Todd.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
major.
awesome. Happy for him. Good job, Todd.
Congratulations to everybody who has made the finals. That'll be happening, like Marsh said, at the end of October. I didn't know it was going to be at the Dub C, so that's amazing. And it'll
Yep.
be the final showdown. Someone's going to walk away with 10K, and that's a
Pretty
huge
epic.
bag for one person
Yeah.
to walk away with. So we're excited to see who takes that.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's gonna be crazy.
Well, shoot, we have a very important guest sitting here in the
Yes,
green
we
room
do.
backstage right now that we should bring in. We can get back to this kind of stuff towards the end of the show, but don't want to leave our man waiting any longer. Let's bring him on in.
Let's go, everybody. We got Paddy Gleason in the building. What up, Paddy?
What's up, boys?
What up, dude? It's good to see you.
Yeah, brother.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on. Good to see you
Of
guys.
course.
Man.
Yeah.
No, we're honored to have you here as a Hawaii native, and with all of the crazy stuff that's going on in Maui right now, our heart goes out to not only you and all the families affected by this tragedy, but we're really grateful to have you here so you can help shed some light on what's going on, because
Yeah.
unfortunately there just hasn't been enough coverage of this as well. Even talking with you recently, I had no idea the magnitude at which this fire was burning out there. And, only within the last few days have I got a lot of information in regards to what's been going on. But dude, we love you, man. And we're sorry about what's happening out there. And like I said, all of our love and condolences to anybody that's been affected by these fires, because it's one of the biggest tragedies in our country's history, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
Patty, go ahead.
No, Marcelo, go.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's the deadliest fire in U.S. history. I've been following pretty closely from day one, because some of my good friends are on a little tour over there. They're in a local reggae band, and one of the drummer is actually from Maui as well. And it's just been absolutely devastating. I mean, people were running into the ocean trying to escape the fire, and then the fire's in the ocean. There's been I think, I don't know what the official count is as of today, but I mean, over 100 people are dead, and a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot more are probably going to pop up. A lot of people missing. It's really a devastating tragedy in, a paradise place. To be completely honest with you, Patty, I didn't think it was possible to have fires in Maui. I thought it was too moist. You know what I mean? Like, truly, it's devastating, brother. So, yeah, happy to have you on the show. Do you still have family there? I assume you do.
Yes. And yeah, before I begin, it's been very hard. And I'll try to keep my composure while I'm on here. And going back to kind of what Tyler was saying, we just had connected because we were linking them up with some workouts and stuff like that, and I was just apologizing because I had been a little bit behind, and I was just like, these things with the fire on Maui has been really upsetting, to say the least. And so I do have family on Maui. I mean, that's where I'm from. So all my aunts and uncles are over there, and then not let alone all my extended family. You know what I mean? I mean, when you're from the islands, everybody's your family. So a lot of people are still missing. Too many people have lost their houses, and so as soon as we kind of saw all of this unfold, it was kind of just put your life on pause and do everything you can to try and help the community back home. And I think, I've myself gone through the different stages of grief over here, and it's been really, I've had to call back home and have some guys talk me off the ledge, just because it was like when you hear this happening, you're like, what do I do? Do I go home? Do I help? And I didn't last long.
Yeah, brother. Well, I can only imagine, being so close to your heart, and this is where you grew up. This is your land that we're talking about. And I can't even begin to imagine what you've been going through, dude. And just know that we got your back, bro. I'm so sorry, man.
No, and that, I'm so grateful that you even were like, yo, come on the show and talk about it. Cause like no offense, but the fact that you didn't know, like, infuriates me.
Yeah. I'm completely infuriated by the whole situation. Like, the more that I've dug into it, it's ridiculous, to be honest. And that's why we've got to make sure that we can do anything that we can as a community to support each other, because it's unfortunate, to say the least, what's been going on.
It is. And I really can't get, like, even with all my conversations that I've had, like, I've been physically exhausted from talking about it and just being emotionally invested in this, and that level of guilt, because even though I have platforms that I can come out on and talk about it and stuff like that, it's like I can't even imagine the horrific experiences that our people have experienced. And I want to go home.
Dude, if you need help getting home, I will personally buy you a plane ticket. Like,
no, it's not that. It's I do better. I'm better help, I feel like, here, and I've had to come to terms with that. And there will be a time and place where I can come home and feel at peace with that. But I guess these tears are just from this feeling of being ripped apart and still feeling like I should be there.
Which are completely valid, Absolutely, dude.
It's
like, my God.
It's just been emotional. So I apologize about that. I did want to come on here and actually just spit some facts, and
Please,
just kind of help raise the awareness, because there's so much that has been thrown around, and at the same time, not enough either.
Yeah.
So it's just like a product of our environment these days, where you don't really know what's true and what's not. And everything that I have gathered has been from my friends that have boots on the ground, that have fought their way to go to the west side and on Lahaina side to see things for themselves.
Jeez.
And just to be a light for the other people that don't know, and let them know, like, what's needed and what's going on, and just so that we can have some awareness, because I do feel like our Hawaiian people are a forgotten minority, that people often just view Hawaii as a place of tourism, but our lands are sacred. And I just want to be a voice for my people for the next 30 minutes.
Dude, we got you. We got you for life, man. And there needs to be much, even if you scroll on your feeds, it's starting to pop up a little bit more now, but it was non-existent, which is unacceptable, especially in times like this. And thank you, man, for standing up and being a pillar. You're a damn pillar right now for so many people. And that's why we're grateful to have you here, and you can shed some light on what's been going on over there.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like, which is such a drop in the water compared to what our homies are doing over there. Oh my God. I think by the end of this story, you'll recognize the power of our mana and just how powerful our community is and how we don't need nobody. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the way that we have banded together. And so, yeah, you know, and before I actually go into, I had to like write my thoughts down because I knew this was going to happen. But before I discuss like the distress that's going on back home, I just want, you know, I first and foremost want to just say I'm not here to kind of like disrespect either parties. You know, this is not like a tinfoil tea party. Like, this is, you know, these are just the facts that, and although they might be hard to swallow, this is what has been happening. Like, there's no fabrication going on here. I want to be as objective as possible because I can't put myself in the shoes of either side, you know, whether it's stateside or for my people. Like I said, I just couldn't even fathom the experiences that they went through. And then most importantly, I'm really not coming from a place of anger or hostility, you know, although I have experienced the full spectrum of that within the last week. I've come to a place where I'm really coming from a place of like love and understanding and wanting resolution and clarity. So I just, for the listeners, like, please, like, keep that in mind as I kind of break these down, because I do feel like this is such hard pills to swallow, and it challenges a lot of like our humanity's way of thinking. And like I said, in our environment now, you never know what's true and what's not, and what's kind of being thrown as like a conspiracy theory, which there are tons being thrown around right now. And I want to stay away from that because it's really not doing any good. So yes, it's for the people. And let's just kind of start with the beginning. Last week on the 7th, the brush fire started. And I think it was funny. It's funny what Marcel was saying. It's like, I don't even know, like, the islands have fires, and just like the wildfires up here that happen like every summer. You know what I mean? Like, there's the island's pretty dry, especially on this side of the island, and there's fires all the time. So it wasn't like a random occurrence. Like we have had fires every year, and so, and it just kind of, it keeps gradually getting closer and closer. Right. And, you know, in 2018, they actually did come out and say, like, you guys need to figure something out here because this is going to be a problem. So there is a certain level of negligence, which is why there are so many people are angry. So this was happening on the 8th. By the 7th is when it started. By the 8th, the blazes started to intensify, and they started to move closer towards Lahaina town. The thing that makes this like a perfect storm, quote unquote, which pun is intended, was there was a hurricane going on at the same time, and the hurricane winds were violent, and it was knocking over telephone poles. You know, some footage is coming out, so you're seeing, like, as the fires are starting, like, the telephone poles are down. The winds are very high, and so it's just like throwing a match into a bundle of tinder. You know what I mean? Like, the town, the structures of the town were dry and needed to be repaired. So by that evening, the fire is just roaring. And these individuals' accounts of the fire is just like, you hear things saying it was like out of a scene of War of the Worlds, or, you know, it was like Armageddon. There's like flame tornadoes going on, embers the size of barbecue charcoals getting whipped around, you know, at 30, 40 miles an hour, hitting people. Like Marcelo was saying, people were jumping into the ocean, but what had happened was, like, the embers and the ash has, like, created a layer over the ocean. So the fire was literally on the water. And so people were trying to dive under it. And with the amount of fire, was sucking all the oxygen out of the air. So it's just like, that's what I mean. I couldn't even imagine it. And then so by August 9th, the town is just completely leveled. The destruction has just ripped through the town. You're starting to see things pop up, and it's just super surreal. And they ended up closing the town, right? And by then, the water's down. There's no electricity. There's no self-service. Everything is just gone. And so people don't know, people had evacuated to the other side of the island. People are missing, there's no self-service. So people are, trying to track family members down. They don't know if their house at that time was gone or not. And like I said, they had locked that town down. And by then, first responders are on scene. The first federal identities were coming on into ground zero and everything like that, assessing what was going on. And and then obviously it was just absolutely demolished. At this point, things were getting really frustrating. And this is where it gets really sticky, because there's protocols in place, and then there's the people, and these people, they closed down Lahaina. They weren't letting anybody in or out. I believe they were letting the tour buses of tourists out, and you were able to leave, but you weren't able to come back in. So family members that wanted to leave to go either there, get supplies, check on other family members, get medication for the family members as well. They didn't want to leave because they would not have been let back in. And so basically everybody's stuck sitting in the destruction of their own town. Right. And you can only imagine the trauma. And so they were waiting for help, and it just never came. FEMA and the Red Cross were there, and other state identities were there. But like I said, you have to put yourself in their shoes too, and who knows what kind of experience they've had with dealing with something like this. So they're trying to keep their heads on straight, probably seeing some stuff that you would never think you see in a lifetime. And then you have people displaced, worrying about their safety and their survival, and not getting answers fast enough. Right? And so this perfect storm of this situation isn't making it easier. So when FEMA guys and Red Cross had come in, like I said, they had shut off the town, and people were allowed to go out, but they weren't allowed to come back in. This is when there was a surge of just people wanting to help, which was awesome and amazing to see. I think in any darkness, the light will prevail, right? And it is happening. And so people instantly started to just send donations, figuring out what was happening and what they could do. And so there was getting a bunch of donations, but Red Cross and FEMA were only they had one pickup spot for these donations, and they were only allowing the approved sites to bring stuff in. And so people that were like, I want to donate stuff, but I want to make sure that it gets to the people. We're all in good nature, and we're donating to these organizations, but these organizations weren't approved by the upper management, basically. And so they weren't allowing things to come through, and they were only allowing those certain approved people to come to this one site to drop off this stuff. And you're talking about a whole town that was just demolished, that is looking for other family members, that is worried for their safety, which has babies that need food and diapers, and like it's just chaotic. And so ultimately we took it upon our own hands. We're talking about a week later, and things have only slightly got better because our community leaders have organized and created more drop-off sites and are boating supplies in and flying supplies in themselves.
There we go.
You know what I mean? And so it really took our own community to figure this out. And you know, people want to point fingers, and in a time of such turmoil, you want to find a reason to why. And that, you know, that's why you're going to get all of these different opinions being thrown around, and almost slowing down the process. It's like I said, it's frustrating because you don't, like, I can't put myself in anybody's shoes. But it just seemed like the way that they were handling it was not only slow, but like the communication was very unorganized. And like I said, they have protocols of things. Like, this is a huge crime scene, basically. And guys, you're and no disrespect to the families and stuff like that, but these bodies have literally like melted, you know. And so they're trying to get a count, and yes, it's at 98, but I'm sorry, it's going to be a lot more. And it is the US to history worst fire, whatever that statistic was, worst wildfire, deadliest wildfire in the country. So we've just been on the phone with my friends that are, you know, and the rest of the community to figure out. It's like a everyday thing. I wake up and I check in with my boys, and I'm just like, yo, what's today's like needed? So, you know, we've been raising money for obviously the basic needs, water, the clothes is pretty good. Food is getting there. Water is the big one. Gasoline's a big one. Camping supplies, because you're literally like, now you're living in a campsite, you know, and it's just really disheartening because none of this stuff is getting supplied. And it's just really hard, like I said, in terms of humanity, to wrap your head around like why, right? I guess
absolutely
that's been the biggest whys. And then, I mean, to even go back to like the coverage wasn't like today on Google, the top line was like, when do you know it's safe to travel to Hawaii or travel to Maui, you know, like concerned about people and their vacations. And I'm just like, yo, our people just lost
everything.
One of our most historic sites on the island. Like, there needs to be some time for mourning. There needs to be some time for reconciliation. And there needs to be just time to get healthy again, mentally and physically. And these guys don't have that chance because they've been having to work as a community to bring themselves back, which just speaks volumes for our ability to be vigilant and to face adversity and just come together as a people, and ultimately at a worldview display the mana that Hawaiians have.
Absolutely, man. And can you, for listeners who don't know the word that you just used, mana, and what that means to the Hawaiian culture, can you explain that to everybody?
Mana is our spirit, our power. And when the Hawaiians get together, you can hear some of the community leaders talking about just the vibrations that are going on when they show up to these sites. And the people are broken, but when they come with a clear mind and understanding of how to fix their lands, you can see the life return to the people. You know what I mean? And then everybody's getting on board, and that's what you're seeing now. I think there was a little bit of time delay, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? I think everyone was kind of in shock and waiting for help. It wasn't coming. So then they were like, bet. Like like we got this. Like we'll do this. And we were finding solutions on how to do it. And now the ball is rolling. And like I said, yesterday was like the first call when I called back to my friends, and they were like, "Oh, today's been good. I've been able to kind of clean my house, and it seems like things have been a little bit more organized." And like I said, the communication, and I was kind of like, I was chuckling, right, trying to find some humor in this dark time, but I was like thinking of paintball, right? And I was like, man, communication, it's like the common thread with everything. And communication, even at a large scale of a natural disaster and tragedy, is the lifeline that gets things put together and solution based. And it just wasn't there, but the community is communicating now, and there is life brewing again for the resurgence, and for the rehabilitation
dude,
of our lands.
Oh my God, that is mind-boggling, to say the least, dude.
Yeah. So
yeah, and times like this are always so interesting as well, because it's like lawmakers break for August recess, they call it, right? So like things struggle to get done during that time. I was reading that they're trying to pass, a supplemental package of like 13 billion to help Hawaii, but they won't have an answer for that until the lawmakers get back from their August recess, quote unquote. Like how are you unable to push something like that through, or understand the magnitude and emergency of this situation when, to be quite frank, you see it on the news, you see it everywhere. We're sending billions of dollars elsewhere. We should be helping the people in Hawaii immediately. It's and I don't know all the inner workings. I'm definitely not an expert in politics or anything of that nature, but to me, it just seems.
I mean, you don't have to be an expert to understand that there's a flaw here. There's a huge flaw going on.
Absolutely.
And it's just not okay. Point blank,
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, whatever conversations need to be had moving forward to make sure that this kind of shit doesn't happen is what we got to do, because there are so many people right now as we speak, right here, right now on that island, and across the globe for that matter, people that need help, and we got to find a way to do a better job of helping each other and making sure that the stuff that hits our eyeballs is going to be for the betterment of our futures, and helping make sure that lineages push on in really good ways, and by helping each other, being a good communicating country, and connecting and doing all these things that are, like you even said, like pivotal in the game we play. This is life too, and we got to make sure that we're connected. Otherwise, we can have tragedies like this happen again, and we'll be in the same position.
Yeah.
I believe if something like this happened in San Diego or something, in a big city on the mainland, probably would have been treated a little differently, unfortunately.
And that is what it is. It is. I feel like if it happened to any, I'll bite my tongue. If it happened to any other, place, person, whatever, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole with that one. I guarantee people would be on platforms. I bet people would be hitting those algorithms so everybody knew about it. I bet the news media coverages would be all over it, and there would just be a lot more awareness. And that was one of the things that I just felt was alarmingly wrong about this, was that people were not coming to our people. And by any means do I feel like Hawaiians are victimizations. Like, it's just not in our nature, you know what I mean? And so it just, like I said, speaks volumes for our ability to come together during this time. And I think since the lockdowns, and people have been disconnected, And I think this is a great chance for us to reconnect as a culture, but also broadcast that on the world view. Like I said earlier,
Paddy, how can
yes, and I think that was a great transition. Like I said, this is all about just like from here forward, right? And that was just the background. What's more important is the rehabilitation. And so now the supplies are moving. Like I said, those big organizations, I shouldn't say big, they got big because people are providing directly from the foundations to the people. So a lot of people have gathered significant amount of donation, and they are slowly getting back to the people. But things that are always in a need is water. There's no water. And then so a lot of people are living at these hotels, and these hotels don't have water. So you can only imagine, right? The water's going as fast as it's getting donated, it's going out. So water's always a need. Gas is a big thing, right? One of the problems with having that one spot was you're talking about the whole west side, right? And conveniently they had this one spot more strategically placed towards where the tourists were, right? And everybody deserves a chance to survive, right? But these guys that had lost their houses and stuff, like, where's the compassion for someone that had just lost their house and they didn't want to leave? They wanted to have time to just be there. That's, and Lahaina's hot. If you've ever been to Lahaina, it's freaking hot. And to walk all that way to one spot just to go there and be there, just to pick the remains of whatever was left over was not sufficient. So gas is a big one because people were obviously need to get around. They're also charging their phones because there's no electricity, right? So gas is a big one. With that, gas cans are needed as well, so they can bring gas in from outside. As we kind of transition now, like the generators and solar chargers or solar generators are going to be needed. Camping gear is going to be needed, right? Like I said earlier and kind of leaked in, it's like living equipment, right? These guys are outside in the elements. Like, they need camping gear, walkie-talkies, right? Literally, like, how would it be to be like in a survival show? Like, that's what these guys are going through. What the community is going through. At one point, it was literally like spin the wheel, and that's what they need. You know what I mean? We should get together and just. I can write up like a list of organizations that I trust, and there's a lot. There's quite a few out there, but give you guys just to post up on your story if people were interested. Please. I've been trying to do as much as I can. We were doing charity fitness classes to try and get as much money. I literally just opened up my Venmo because people were asking me, like, let me donate, but I want to make sure things are going straight to people. And I knew people, so I was like, yo, let me just open up my Venmo, and people were just donating that way. I got that charity shirt going on right now, and that's going to go to first responders. I have some first responder friends, and the stories that they have are just bone chilling. One story of heroism was one of our friends. Literally, she was on shift, literally was standing there, watched her house catch on fire, turned around, and just continued to help the community, knowing that all of her belongings are up in flames. So it's like these kinds of things are happening, and more stories are coming out of just superhuman abilities. You know what I mean? Sorry to keep going here, but even further down the road too, we're going to be looking for like pro bono lawyers to protect our land, because you have these vultures coming in, trying to buy up this land. And so we want to protect the people. Some people, whether insurance or not, they at a time at such a weak point in your life, the thought of just selling your land and kind of being done with it could be appealing, but we're really trying to encourage the community to kind of like hold tough, and we'll try and figure this out. And so I'm actually rocking one of the shirts of my boy. It's the Tough Foundation, TUF. And they're working, and they're partners with 4 other organizations, and they've got some acres of land that they're going to go and build tiny homes, and so we're really trying to think outside the box on how to keep the people there, and how to sustain while being there in such a hostile environment.
So, Paddy, sorry, people are coming in and trying to buy the land that has been kind of essentially burnt to the ground, trying to buy the remains for 10 cents on the dollar, and right in a time where people are desperate. Yeah. That's pretty predatory, if you ask me.
And yes, 100%. And that definitely kind of trickles into the whole tinfoil hat scenarios, right? Which my buddy, who's very connected, didn't 100% believe that was like the cause, but there are people that specialize, and whether they're individuals or working for private organizations coming in, and they do, there is a market for natural disasters and land buying, right? And so these people are coming in trying to poach on this land. So that's why I was saying we do need, if there's attorneys or lawyers out there that want to go pro bono and just donate their time, that's one avenue, right, to do, just to kind of help keep our lands to the Hawaiians. You know what I mean? Especially such sacred land that, Lahaina side is so sacred, was at one point the palace for King Kamehameha. And like that's often overlooked too, right? Like when the main media is covering it, it's like major tourist town gets, burned down. And it's like, it's when we see that, it's like, yo, that's
not
so
a tourist
far
town,
from,
that's home.
Yeah, that's so far from not even the truth, but the relevance. You know what I mean? Like, so
I just got to say,
we really needed to rehabilitate the land.
The Hawaiian people and the Hawaiian culture are some of the most beautiful people in the world, and some of the most warm-hearted people in the world. So we got to go above and beyond and show love where love is shown, because the Hawaiian culture is just spectacular, truly. Like the people have the biggest hearts, and they really care about each other, and that's showing right now in this time of tragedy. Unfortunately, it's just so heartbreaking to even think about what's been going on, but the fact that everyone is standing up and coming together to help each other is a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, and it is, and it's been a roller coaster, and like I said, through every dark time, the light will shine through, and the hope is forceful. The hope is there. The unity is definitely there. So we will make it through this. It took a week of kind of just adjusting, get our feet on the ground, brush our shoulders off, and now that there's like a goal and a directive, we're gonna make it happen. So,
Paddy, do they have any idea how this fire started yet?
I'm glad you brought that up. As I was kind of breaking everything down, I kind of went over that. So when I was talking about the like, just that there is fires, right?
Right.
This part of the story is actually, it is hard to digest. I do see it very plausible, and this is just my point of view. I do see it very plausible that it was because of a brush fire, or a fire that was started from the power lines or whatnot, and then with the winds, right? It just threw this fire around. It just threw it around. It spread so fast. What was what's really frustrating though is, like I said, in 2018, they had said that they needed to fix some things, or Lahaina town was in jeopardy, and this could happen. This type of situation was plausible, and as far as I know, nothing was really done. Another thing, there was no warnings. Now wrap your head around it. There was no warnings and there was no sirens. And so this fire just kickstarted and came up on people by surprise. And then so you get that type of hysteria, people trying to get out of there, and your town's pretty much on lockdown. You've tried to exit from a sports game or whatnot. You can't go anywhere. And the infrastructure going through Lahaina is one lane out, or two lanes, one lane for each direction, and it's one road. It's a bottleneck. It's a bottleneck. It was a disaster waiting to happen. Also, we don't even have enough time to go through this, but there has been a battle for water redirection. So when big companies came in back in the day, they had diverted our water sources to be supplied to major areas of our island that bring in a certain amount of money. And on top of that, we were a very agricultural state before tourism took over. And so these big companies had diverted all this water to the areas that they needed, which really messed up what we call our ahupua'a, which is the island is segmented into sections, and it was a very self-sustaining environment until they did this, and then that's when things started to really go awry, and the droughts and everything like that over generations, right? So when the first responders had showed up to this one particular neighborhood, which this is the information that I just know through a friend that has family in that area, they went to attach the fire hose to the fire hydrant and there was no water because they were waiting for the water to be redirected over to where they were at. But the fire had come so fast that it was a delay and it was too late.
Oh man.
Okay, so these are some of the stories that are really hard to hear, but this is not theory. This is what happened. And I think whatever you want to call it, it comes down to negligence. And to have such a catastrophic effect from negligence, like I said, it's a really big pill to swallow.
It's a tough one, yeah.
And it makes you want to point fingers at something else that could be a uglier culprit, but negligence is one that we could have avoided, and that's what's so frustrating.
Oh God, well, we got to just do better, man. That's all it comes down to, and especially the fact that they had conversations about this in 2018, and then to 4 or 5 years later have this tragedy happen. We got to, and we see these fires are really kicking up too across the country. It's been a common theme that we're seeing, and we got to make sure that with, the way that the summers are pretty brutal right now. And it seems to get a little bit hotter incrementally, every summer. So we got to put that as a high priority item in order to save lives out there, point blank.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Oh, dude, Paddy.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
no,
Goldman.
dude.
You got to come follow me up.
No, dude.
I know. I actually just messaged Tyler. I was like, I don't even know if we should have Mouse on after this, bro.
Goldman, what are you gonna bring on, man?
Dude.
One thing I know. Yeah, one thing
Mark.
I know is that the paintball community usually does a really good job of coming together in time of need. I've seen it over and over again, and this is probably one of the biggest collective issues that we've had, to be honest,
Yeah.
So I would love to see the paintball community show out a little bit and whatever we can do,
Yeah.
and that looks different for everybody.
I would like to piggyback on that. That we have a very small paintball community over there, which the field is on that side. The field is safe, but we do have a lot of paintball players in our community that have lost their houses and are displaced right now. So, like I said, when you spin the wheel and figure out what you want to help out with, I have this shirt going on for first responders, but I still have there's a lot of ideas that I would like to reach out to people, or if there's people that want to reach out to me and collaborate on something just to kind of raise some funds to these families of our paintball community. Like, I'm so on board. And I would love to do something to just continue with the support of our Maui community. So if there's ideas or whatever, hit me up. Let's do it.
Yes, everybody tap in with Paddy and let's make sure we go above and beyond. And I know on our behalf, we have PTG merch. I have Houston Heat jersey. We need to raffle off some stuff.
Yeah,
and,
I was thinking jersey raffles. Yeah.
So whatever we can do,
whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we have the platform. That's what I'm saying. And it's like, we have the platform and let's exploit it. Like we did the work to get this type of recognition and to be on this type of platform. So like when something serious like this happens, let's use it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Couldn't agree more with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Paddy. So we'll be talking and we'll get dialed in on some amazing stuff that we can help the community with, right? This is all about going above and beyond for our family in Hawaii that needs help right now on Maui. And let's go above and beyond and make sure we can bring that to fruition for all those people that have gone through this insane tragedy.
Yeah. And I want to shout out you guys. Thank you for the hospitality. You guys have had me on here multiple times. And it really doesn't go unnoticed. And from the bottom of my heart, like, you guys are the shit, and you guys are the boys. And I appreciate both of you tenfold, like, for real.
This is real life, Paddy. We got you, dude. And like I said, if you need anything, we are here for you. And our hearts go out to you and your family and the beautiful people out there in Hawaii that have been affected by this. But we're gonna rally together, man. We're gonna come together and help in any way that we can. So let's go, PTG. Let's go, everybody out there, paintball world, rally.
That's why we started this show. This show's for all of us. It's not a show for Tyler and myself to sit here and have conversations with people. It's a show for all of us. Truly, that's what we've said from the beginning. So you're right, Paddy. I like what you said. If you have a platform, using it when people need it is the most important thing.
Yeah,
that's right. So, and Paddy, people can support right now as well by picking up the shirt. 100% of the proceeds go to the first responders. And then we'll be doing some more raffles and driving funds to get as much funding as we can possible to people over there. So how can people get dialed in with that as well?
So for the shirt, just I just pumping everything through my social media. So you guys were grateful enough to share it as well. But I do have the link in my bio. Yes, like Tyler was saying, 100% of these profits are going to go to first responders. Reach out to me personally and I'll find a place for your donations to go. Like I said, I have friends that have boots on the ground and every day is something new. So it's like I check in every day and see what's on that triage list of things that they need. And like I said, I'll try and put together 4 or 5 different foundations as well that people can donate to. I know that some people want to find ones that are like 501c and stuff like that, like by any means necessary. I'll put on my buddy's one, and he's the one that's going to be more focused on like the rehabilitation, and he's doing the tiny homes and all of that. So that's going to be needed down the road, So, the best is just to communicate and reach out, and we'll help out. Like, we got to be vigilant during this time. It's not just like a one-stop shop, like, oh yeah, just go here. You know what I mean? Things are moving, and we just need to be on top of it. And that's where I kind of step in. I'm just trying to been an outlet for the people on the mainland to know what is valuable to know.
There we go. And his Instagram is Paddy Gleason as well, so you can find him there and reach out and connect with him in that way.
Yeah. And Patty, just while we have you here, this is probably a tough question. I don't know if you've even had time to think about it yet, but if you have, what are some ways we can prevent, on maybe even, a community level, but definitely an individual level, to prevent stuff like this from happening again? And what type of precautions or things can people do, if any?
I mean, that is a tough one and a loaded one. I think that these people that are in positions of power need to start listening to the people. I just think that there's a big disconnect there, and we have been. I know that the Hawaiians have been saying this for many years, and no one wanted to listen, and this is the result, and we were affected by it. You know what I mean? And so that goes across the board. Listen to the communities, listen to the indigenous people, listen to the ones that have been there before we were, and they will know the answer. They know the answer already. It's just that there's these power poles that make people feel like they know something more than someone else, and it's obviously just not working. And like I said, the negligence behind this and the disorganization and the lack of communication was the result, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, man, it's truly unbelievable. Still, I can't wrap my brain around it, and it's going to take time.
And Tyler, it's like we're blessed. Like, this is part of the guilt too. It's like we're blessed that we can kind of flirt with it and then back on out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my wife, we're both from Maui, and it's like it's a blessing that we are able to kind of shut off when we need to and take like mental health. These guys back home, they can't do that, but there's a responsibility in that for us, right? And when we do plug in and when we do check into the situation, it's our responsibility to help by any means necessary, right? Because yes, we can get exhausted from it and fatigued from it, and we can take a break. These guys can't, right?
Yeah, imagine what they're going through. It's like so unreal.
I think everyone just needs to breathe, and stay calm. But the solutions will present itself. So you can try and wrap your head around it, but really, we need to be solution based and trying to wrap your head about the past now is only going to cause frustrations and hit road barriers and not going to get anywhere. And we need to be eyes forward and thinking of solutions and community and unity and helping out.
You couldn't say it any better, man. And thank you, Patty, for being on the show with us today and spreading awareness of this and being, like I said, a pillar in the community back home for you. And we're going to go above and beyond to make sure that we can help in any way possible. Let's stay connected and make sure we can drive 100%. This home and help as many people as we possibly can out there.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Dude,
thank you, brother.
Patty, is there any news going on with the branding of OTL? I've been kicking my own butt out here working out, doing the program. So
how was the training today?
Good. My legs are gonna fall off. It's good though.
And yes, I think good. Switch gears a little bit. My life was put on pause a little bit, but I do plan on getting back and pumping some OTL stuff. And so I'm glad to have you on board and training with us. And so the training is still going. We're still lining up for Chicago. We just dropped the new little training program that's going to take us right into Chicago. And so it's a little bit more speed based and technique wise to help us with our running and with our sprinting and being a little bit more agile on the field. I do have the base camp. Right. I would like to clear up. Yeah. Base camp is $9.99. It's my lowest membership that I have. I just had released it. So obviously there's going to be some questions asked and everything like that. My website makes it a little confusing to get through, but so for the listeners, just bear with me on this as I work out the kinks. But when you sign up for the base camp, it asks you to create a sign-in, and then from the sign-in, you're able to purchase the base camp. So that's been one of my frequently asked questions, and I'm glad I'm on this platform to just kind of answer that right off the bat. But the base camp is growing. We still have the remote coaching, and then I had a blast at the WC doing my first booth. I think the last time I was on, I was promoting that I was going to do a booth, and I got the bug, man. I like doing booths. I don't have to coach. I don't have to play. I can just talk shit.
Kick back,
just hang out with, man. It was a blast. So I launched the Respect the Suffering Volume 1, which the official drop is coming out, and that was one of the things that kind of got put on the back burner, but that is coming out still. I got Volume 2 coming out, and then I'm going to get ready for Event 4 of that. So I do want to make that part of my routine of hitting all the WCs. I used to love going to them and playing, and like I said, now I have the bug, and I love going there and just being with OTL family and all my friends, and just having a social event rather than a work event.
Totally. And
even though it is a work event, right? But it doesn't feel like it.
I keep tricking myself, but it was just
you
such
said
a
it yourself.
blast. I keep tricking myself because it was such a blast.
The culture is just potent, man. The WC culture is really powerful. They're having a lot of fun, and there's so much support going on in the paintball community in so many different ways. And it's really cool to see. You know, we have a lot of pro players such as yourself, us, Kyle, Mouse. They have companies, and everyone's doing really well for themselves, following their dreams and creating and being creative and having fun with this paintball game. So we're super grateful for everybody that supports paintball players, the pro players, the industry, all of it, because without everybody out there giving back to this industry, it's not going to be strong, and we're going to have a tough time with it. So let's just keep boosting everybody's projects and having fun with this crazy game that we get to play, man. It is fun.
100%.
Yeah, dude. And thank you, man, for the training. It's been really fun. Like you said, you have the a la carte too, where people can just kind of pick the, if they want to do a certain aspect of their body, do the $9.99 and do the training that way. Or you can have the serious full tilt training that I'm doing, which gives you day by day regiments, workouts, videos, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
I gotta
really
say,
tried to.
I got in there too. I've got the app. I've watched a lot of the videos. I implement some of them. I'm not as strict with the routine just because I have like a very kind of specific routine that I've been doing as well. But it is an excellent program. I can say that just from looking at it. For me, it's just hard to be like, I did the same thing with the knees over toes guy, right? I would like watch the videos at my house and then go and implement them into my exercises. But I wouldn't have my phone with me to like, log in at the gym, do an exercise, say I completed it, go to the next one. That just personally wasn't how I utilized it. But same thing with yours, being able to see the videos, and your videos, I got to say, I love the knees over toes stuff. Your videos are a little easier to like understand. You do a really good job of explaining them, and they're kind of fun as well.
Thank you.
With the little background music, but if you
I use those for my fans only too.
only fans. If you're somebody that's new to working out, or you've never had a personal trainer, this is a great way to be taught how to exercise and how to accomplish these movements, which is really important. And that's a lot of people's biggest fear and about going to the gym, is they just don't know what to do, and they don't know how to do it. And they'll watch maybe a YouTube video, but it doesn't do a good job of it really explaining the motion. And it can be scary to pick up some weights and move them in a way that you never have before. But your videos truly do an excellent job of explaining exactly how to get or perform an exercise. So if you guys have not checked out OTL, definitely go check it out, and appreciate everything you're doing in there.
And
dude.
I will get off your guys' back here, but let me just tune into that.
You're
too.
good, baby.
That's the remote coaching. That's what Tyler was saying. That's like the full membership. And going back to what Marcel was saying about like watching the videos, and then it does take time, and there is a little bit of an adjustment period as you get used to that kind of training. But I run 5-week programs, So that first week is always a little bit of like, okay, like it is a little cumbersome of like, okay, I got to do this and then I got to do that. But as you get used to my programming and then how it runs by week 2 and 3, you recognize the name and then you understand what to do. And what I like about that is that people learn, right? You learn what movements are, you learn what the names are, and you understand programming. So even after OTL, which is always my goal, is the educational purpose part of it, is you would be able to understand and have an artillery of exercises that you can do your own style.
Absolutely.
And then just so we're clear, I do this in a professional setting as well, right? So this is like pro programming that is watered down and filtered, not watered down, but just filtered down for our paintball players. And I do appreciate you queuing in on that, is that I have crafted this so that it is adaptable to someone that is coming into the fitness world that is a little bit unknown and new, but also having a quality training program for a professional athlete.
So this is
the artistry behind that should be noted. And I'll pat myself on the back for that.
That's why I noticed it. It's in clinics, it's the same thing. Tyler and myself, when we teach, I can teach the same concept to a new player, right? Or an experienced player. And it's adaptable and relatable to both.
Right.
In the way that you explain it. Yeah, exactly. I can teach really high level stuff to someone that just came in to the game in a way that they'll retain it and understand it, and it is an art. You're right. It's an art. And that's the first thing I noticed and was like, this is a really good program, 'cause there's a lot of people out there doing that kind of stuff, doing fitness and trying to be trainers. And not everybody has the ability to teach, it's a special skill for sure. You definitely have it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So. And you build your bag up, then you have a bag of tricks and you can use it on your own time,
Yes, 100%.
Well, Paddy, we love you, dude. And thank you so much for your time tonight, man. We'll be connected and we will be chatting soon, and you have a great night, bro.
Aloha, boys.
Aloha, brother.
Later, brother.
Peace. Thank you.
Man. The legend, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy. Really crazy.
Yeah, people are going through devastating times for sure. I'm really glad we were able to have Paddy on to shed some light on that. And hopefully we can help, in any way that we can. It's easy to disconnect yourself from that stuff and not really pay attention or not really empathize or think about it because it's painful to think about and it doesn't really directly affect you. But if it were directly affecting you, you would be begging for help from other people, especially if it's your last resort. So, yeah, we'll connect with Paddy for sure. And anything that we can do to facilitate some relief over there would be, the least we could do.
And just sending good thoughts and tapping in with people. If you know people over there, just, stay connected and keep doing whatever we can to help in any way possible. I actually have this crazy white Houston Heat jersey that is like a very rare one that I'm going to give up to this and try to drive as much as we can off that and make sure that we can get some funds rolling that way. And I know we have Mouse. I think he is in the background here. Let's see the young legend.
Call him in.
What's going on, PTG fam? How we living?
Yeah.
Hey, he's got the intro down.
We're living good, baby.
Not my first time.
Won't be your last.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
Oh, we know. You just committed to the.
I'm just messing up.
You just committed to the fantasy football league, brother.
Oh, damn.
I gotta figure out how to get the Discord channel, and we're locked in.
All right. Well, I gave you the link before. I'll send it to you again. Actually, before I forget, I'm just gonna send that to you right now. Yeah. But it's easy, dude. The Discord is. I mean, it's amazing.
It's popping.
Yeah,
it is. And the fantasy football league is so much fun, man. It's just nonstop banter in the chats, having a good time. And it's all paintball family, everybody having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite.
My favorite.
Banter.
How's your guys' summer break been?
Dude,
hasn't felt like much of a break.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are on the grind.
Yeah, you already know.
All right.
Come on now.
Yeah,
How's yours been?
Oh, good. Just got back from Mexico. Got a nice tan.
There we go.
Won a tournament. Saw some pretty ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You won down there. That's a hard thing to do, actually. It's hard to win down there, man. Because it's just the rules are pretty crazy.
If you've been there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, not to bash on what Arturo's got going on, because he's got a great league.
He does.
I had the time of my life over the weekend playing paintball and just being we were in Leon. It was a nice city in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And, but aside from that, I mean, fuck, man, the cheating's just erroneous there.
It's crazy. It is so
it's
bad.
Another level.
Yeah. It is. It's
but again, I don't mean to take away from Arturo and the MXL. It was, I had a hell of a time.
Yeah.
And,
totally.
Obviously, it's always nicer too when you're winning a tournament. But it would have been a 10 out of 10 for me, regardless. That was just the icing on the cake there.
I'm surprised you had fun, because you don't like traveling too much, dude, and you've been kind of venturing out a little bit more. So I'm happy for you, dude. That's huge.
Well, I'm not working at my 9 to 5 anymore, so my schedule kind of opened up. So yeah, I kind of just got the itch to get back out there.
I love
it.
And
this was a great trip, man.
Nice.
Great branding as well for Tigerware to have you on the squad with,
sure.
you know, the TJ Bastards, who are the team that you guys sponsor. So it's
there you go. So you guys know how to plug it better than I do. Yeah, actually, you know, shout out to Hector. He's running the TJ Bastards. He does so much for that camp and for me when I'm around. Yeah, that guy's great, man. Yeah. There needs to be more guys like that guy in paintball, and we can get this thing booming.
Mouse, does he have a son that plays?
Yeah. His name's Eric. He plays on the snake side usually.
That's his son. Area bottom, something like that.
Which is, it makes it nice, you know, when that's the situation, because, you know, a lot of times with these owners have a son and they're not good, kind of hard to navigate through that.
Yeah, his son's good though. His son's good for sure.
His son's good. Okay. He's actually one of the top players. Yeah. He's coming up in due time. He should be a talented pro. So
that's crazy, because Hector looks so. I actually always wondered what his affiliation was, and somebody else. I think they asked me if Angel was his son. I said no, I definitely know Angel's not his son, but I don't know if he has a son on the team, because he looks super young. Hector looks young.
No, for sure.
He looks young.
Yeah. No, he's got, I think, 3 kids.
Okay. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, not to talk too much about it. Yeah, true. You know, save one maybe for
we need to get his
own podcast.
We need to get him on the show. Actually, he would be dude, we're big fans of paintball patrons, right? We need as many of them as possible.
Right.
So.
And Mouse, you guys played the TJ All-Stars in the finals, is that right?
Right. And
no, then, you played them in the semifinals. I thought you played Harrison in the finals.
No, backwards. I played Harrison in the semis, the All-Stars in the finals. Yeah.
Oh.
So talk to us. Well, first of all, since we're on the hairy subject, talk to us about this move, dude. If you haven't seen them,
I was gonna ask if you had that clip. If you sent it to me, I could play it on the show.
I thought I did.
Yeah, you got to send that.
You thought you had it?
I'll send it. No, I thought I sent it to you. I'll send it right now.
No,
I only have the clip of somebody put on their story.
All right, so for the YouTube, we have the clip. If you head over to YouTube.
So I mean, it was overtime.
Let us know.
Hold on.
Well, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, while you're over there at the YouTube, smash the subscribe button. Let's get those numbers up. Let's go.
Smash the subscribe button. Hit the like. Hit the share.
Yeah, let's go.
More plugs than our boy Damien.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
So I mean, the match was back and forth. They actually had the lead for most of the match, and we're just kind of trying to fight back. Eventually, we tie it up, and it goes to overtime. And you know, me and Harry are just going at it on the Doritos side, and we get down the Doritos, and we're both losing bodies on each side, and it comes down to a 2-on-1 with me and one of my teammates, and Harry's in the Dorito right in front of me. But I thought I could have swore he had a player right behind him. They end up getting a minor, so I lose count, you know. and that's where it got confusing on the body count there. So I kind of played him a little more submissive, trying to find that second body as the chaos is going on. And Harry just misses the shot on me as I'm trying to check him off because I didn't realize he was in the Dorito right in front of me. And just, natural reaction, I'm trying to make a move off that because whether it was 2-on-2 or 2-on-1, I wanted to shoot him clean and not just get the trade because I didn't want to leave that pressure up to the other guy on my team. Even though he could have handled it, I'm sure. It was Tyler. He was playing well at the event.
Well, you made the right move, dude. This move's insane.
Yeah.
It's on the YouTube right now.
What was weird is when I took that inside route to the brick, I shot my gun the whole way because I thought he saw me take a step inside and he looked like he was about to wrap. So I was just hoping I would put a ball on him going into that brick. Somehow he didn't know and just tried to take off to run me in the Dorito in front of him.
Yeah,
I'm camping out in the brick waiting for him.
I'm going to play it really quick. I thought this was a high-level move. Huge mistake on Harry's fault, though, for not being able to see both sides of your bunker, especially knowing who's in front of him. And I'm sorry, I was trying to get this video up, so I missed the part you were I don't know exactly if you what you told about this point. Was it a 5-on-2 in your guys' favor?
Again, the trading bodies was happening so quick. And the way that Dorito side was, as soon as two guys on each team got down those wire Doritos, you kind of had to focus on the guy in front of you. Because if he started putting one or two guys in, I mean, he can come stick you quick. Yeah. So you had to really be aware of just eyes forward right in front of you and not really looking cross. So I wasn't able to keep track of the bodies walking off. And I heard at one point kill 2 was the last I had heard. So, and then I saw a third body walk off. But again, like I said in the beginning, I didn't see that fourth body come off, or maybe I played a little different. But Harry was going to work before I put that move on him and shot 2 of our players. One played on with a pack hit, got a minor. So then he brought it down to a 2-on-1, and just unfortunate for him.
This was a
he
2-on-1
missed a shot and didn't see me. Yeah.
2-on-1 in your favor.
In our favor, yeah.
Okay. Damn, I'm surprised you made that's even more surprising. I mean, okay, so for the YouTubers, we're gonna play through it. I know you can't see it, Mouse, but right here, you're playing inside, and then you check them on the tape super quick, and then just totally react and go across inside of that brick and set this trap. Oh my goodness! And he comes to get you, and you pick him up there. I mean, you know what's funny? You know what this reminds me of, Mouse?
What's that?
I wonder if you remember a tournament where you were kind of playing like this.
I thought I'd play like that all the time.
This reminds me of.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. Usually you go right at people. This move, usually you go right at people. This move to the inside to set a trap, that's not really your game. I mean, you do it.
Right.
You can do it all.
Usually go forward. Yeah.
Dude, this reminds me of Kansas City. 2007 when you were playing in the middle and you were like bouncing back and forth in the middle. You were playing in the middle. This was a long time ago, 2007 we're talking about. But I remember it was like kind of a breakout event for you, in my opinion, because you were really dynamic up there and we're doing these like really athletic, you would go through sometimes and you would come back and set traps. It was really creative. And when I watched this story, like that's the first thing that it reminded me of for whatever reason.
No, actually that's pretty accurate. And, I do like playing that type of way, especially in the center. I just don't get to as often as I'd like to.
Totally.
Like we've been playing Aftermath a lot at ASG. Shout out to Wayne and David Ramirez, really helping some of us stay sharp in this huge long break and just grinding it out against Aftermath. But I've been playing up the center a lot more on those off weekends when I go out there and play points against them. And I seem to do really well. And I just, I've built such a reputation, that fucking snake, I can't get out of it now.
I can't get out of it. I know, even in our pickup games, we're like, bro, you're going in the snake. What do you stop trying to play anywhere else?
Oh, man. I know your boy Chad Jordan is feeling it too. It just that spot wears on you like no other, man.
Dude, nobody done it like Billy Bernaccia.
Billy too, bro.
I just the amount of
he's
time.
probably ran it off the break more than me and Chad. But.
Yeah, for sure. He's ran it off the break more than I think anybody in their career. Shout out to Billy B. He's just made of spaghetti and meatballs and Italian sauce and mozzarella.
Just bouncing.
But he gets it done, man. And
he gets it done.
He gets it done, dude. And he just continuously. He said something that someone had brought up recently that, one of his quotes is, I started in the snake and I'll end in the snake. Like he's just going to ride or die in the snake. And he's owned it. He's definitely owned it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the mindset to have in that position.
Totally.
But,
a bunch of dogs running around on that snake side.
A bunch of dogs. I just think there's bigger things for me out there on those fields. So.
Well, shit. Watch out, Nick Laval. You better watch these coming for that. He's coming.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nick Laval. You do have that advantage of being able to see over the bricks and the wedges and stand up and use your height there. So when they're in the center of the field, it's, and then to be able to be explosive off of it. Like if you pop up over the top and see a hole, you can capitalize and close the gap and shoot 2 or 3 bodies really quick, actually.
Yeah, it's weird how the game is like that with the advantages and disadvantages. Because then, like someone like Axel has the advantage of being so small, he can like pop up on his feet in that snake and put a shot on people that, others like myself and Billy and Chad can't. So it's interesting in that way. But yeah, I think in this game, with my athleticism, I'd rather have the height for sure.
I agree. I think the height with the new bunkers at least is an advantage. As long as you're athletic with it, because you could just play more of your bunkers. Tyler's the same. You could play any spot of the field, any of the bunkers. Being able to see over those bricks is a huge advantage.
Especially since Trojan's been putting them like in the 50 too.
Yeah,
where you could totally take a side of the field away.
Yeah, I knew that last snake, you were the first person I thought of. I'm like, man, super fast, so you can get in there easily and then just go to the 50 and pop up and shoot a bunch of people. I'm like, damn, if you don't have that height, it's difficult. So Axel couldn't do that. He was limited to playing one side of it, right? Where that 50 was like, I felt like if you got to the tape where, the big brick was and then the little knuckle, it's nice to play the wrap. But if you can come up over the top and shoot crossfield really quick, like if you know your shots, you can really be deadly in there. Whereas like myself, even I would be limited to just kind of the one side, depending on how inflated those bunkers are,
Yeah. Yeah. You just have more options, a couple different shots. And then on that field in specifics, like we saw that the aggressor, even Archie in the Dynasty game, pressing into their side, into those doors, those lay down boxes and really going to work like that. Yeah. Mouse, let's talk about the finals game between you guys and the TJ All-Stars. How did that play out?
I mean, again, another back and forth competitive game, but I think more so just with what they were kind of getting away with on the field. They're just like in this game, I understand like the gray area of cheating and playing dirty is kind of part of it, but I also think there's just a line of respect for the game. And I think I saw that get crossed a little too much over the weekend.
For you to say that is big.
No, I mean, it's funny how people think I have that reputation, but I really, first of all, don't even look for those opportunities. And I also I have too much respect for the game to cheat how I witnessed this weekend. It was, face hit.
Yeah.
Face hit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's too much.
I get like the off the break, like skimmers, whatever.
Yeah.
Let those ride. And that's a risk for the runner too, right? Like he's in motion and he's taking the gamble if the ref saw him or not. That's fair game. But like in your spot, getting snapped out in the fucking lens and continuing to play. So
it's brave. You got to give him that. Take some cojones.
Yeah. And I thought the reffing was actually pretty fair and decent, but they did miss some big calls in the later matches of that tournament. And it's tough. You guys have reffed, I've reffed. It's not easy, but
it's not.
I think that's the thing that Arturo should look into is kind of disciplining the refs and kind of making them almost intimidate the players of like showing them like the risk isn't worth it a lot of times.
Right.
Yo, did you
yeah.
You listened to the Hinman episode? He had some really powerful insights like about that. We just had Hinman on recently. Yeah, it was a really good one. And he was talking about that. Like we were asking him with his leagues, how do you make sure that it's going to be a successful endeavor? And he said he starts number one with the refs. If the people out there are wiping goggle hits, that's just bold. That's a bold move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's not even paintball. I feel like at that point, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, it's just something we got to uphold the integrity of it. Like the game that we all love, it does have to uphold the integrity of the sportsmanship and making sure that it's a fair game. And once again, the judges have the most difficult job ever, keeping track of everything that's going on. It's a lot.
I mean, and that's the biggest part about it is displaying the proper way to play this game. That's not how we should be showing how the game can be played.
Yeah.
With that level of cheating. So that was my only gripe though from the weekend. That happens anywhere.
Totally.
Just having a little more there. But again, if any pros that haven't gone to Mexico to play in MXL definitely should. Absolutely. It's a great experience.
Agreed.
And it's a challenge, right? Because they only allowed one pro per team, and you're trying to figure out how to get your team on the same page while you're playing throughout the event. So it's awesome. It's a fun challenge.
Well, Mouse, if you can get it dialed in with the TJ Bastards, I might have to come run alongside you out there or something. You know what I mean? We'll rally.
Yeah. And then we'll get you on diesel next. Perfect. I love it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, you are too.
Hey, at least we can both admit it, dude. That's step one.
Exactly, man. The madness we could create together.
Oh, it's unreal, dog. And then we had
it's unreal, but it could be real. Sorry, go ahead.
We had the Rangers. We had the Rangers who took third place out there as well. So shout out to them. Rangers Paintball. How are they looking? Looking like a good squad?
Dude, that semifinal was like a finals match. I mean, came down to the wire, overtime, dropping bodies left and right, and just really came down to that move against Harry right there.
Yeah. So. That was big. Marcelo's trying to reprimand his dog over here.
God, it's crazy, dude.
I mean, dude, he had a good event. It's just unfortunate for him that he got caught like that. And I got in his head, I felt like a little bit throughout that match.
Mouse didn't realize you were talking about my actual dog over here. Piper's over here barking. I've got Sahar's dog on the couch, and she just won't stop barking. She used to be so good on those shows. She's just staring at me too. She's just giving me the eyes over there. Like who are you talking to?
Demanding attention.
Don't they all, huh?
Yeah, right. I was gonna say probably like their owner.
Don't they all? 100%.
We got some Discord questions as well, and you're going to be jumping in the Discord, so be on the lookout for that. We're stoked for the fantasy football.
Hold on, real quick. Before we get into the Discord questions, I know we're a little limited on time here, but Mouse, I sent you the link. Click it and get in there right now, live on the show.
All right. Damn, guys.
And then
that's the problem.
For everybody that doesn't know, there's going to be like a pool that's going to open up after this season of fantasy, where if you're a part of the Discord, we'll be able to possibly get you into the Champions League. There's going to be like champions, challengers, and people are going to be fighting for spots to get into fantasy football with us. So be on the lookout for that. It's a fun way to stay connected and just keep shooting the shit. And we got Mouse in the Discord now, so it's popping. Let's go.
Nice. Let me add the roll. Got the roll.
You get your own.
I'm a pro bot.
You get the pro tag. So like in the Discord, everybody has like different colors for the tiers, and as pros, you guys get your own pro tag color in there as well. So you'll be able to stand out.
I haven't been on Discord in a minute here.
Bro, Discord is great. So
it's cranking.
Dude, I'm seeing messages from this girl I used to try to get at in Arizona.
Why is she on Discord is the question. Did you meet her on Call of Duty?
It's not far off. Instagram. But she did play one of these video games I used to play.
Oh my God, dude.
No,
Destiny?
dude,
You guys are playing Destiny?
I wish. I think it was worse.
Oh
No,
my God.
He's having
she's
fun.
a really pretty girl,
Fast and the Furious?
though. Oh, man. Forget about it. So, wait, we're in the PTG, though.
Yep. So
Yeah, we got you, bro.
we got some questions for you too, and you can actually, now that you're honorary, PTG fam, you can even check out the guest questions thread. There's a ton of threads in here that you can dive into. But
You might want to change your photo. What is that?
We're getting connected, man.
Oh my God. It's like I don't know what that is.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, I know Tyler would like that.
Yeah. Supercharged. He's ready.
Man. That's exactly it. I'm feeling charged up.
Nice, dude.
All right. Marchie, you want to fire off one of the first ones?
Yeah, let me open up the
Here.
channel real quick here.
Oh.
Guest questions.
You
All
guys playing
right.
this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Are we what?
I'm gonna be out in Kentucky, and then I'm going to Virginia Beach, and then I'm going to France.
Oh, you're doing the clinic thing?
Yeah, I got one in Kentucky this weekend. Shout out to Lurtz Paintball, that one of the goats. We're gonna be running around with some goaters out there and having some fun, playing some paintball.
There you go.
Yep. And then we got some heat practice in Virginia Beach. That'll be on next weekend, so we'll be heading out there.
Yeah, I'll be in Boston coaching the Team USA U19 and U16 kids Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're getting ready for the Paris event. I'll have the following weekend off, Mouse, if you want to go play Saturday or Sunday at ASG.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, trying to get ready for Paris, and then obviously Chicago's coming up. So cool. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, question from our man OG Paul. Paul, by the way, I'm never gonna say your Discord name out loud here. Just letting you know, so you might as well.
But doesn't he not mind if that's his Discord name?
Oh, I know he doesn't mind.
Yeah. So it's just not appropriate, or what?
It is not appropriate. All right, OG Paul, he wants to know. This is from Did It Hurt podcast, right? That's who it is. So, what is the most challenging and irritating part of your game that took years to fix? It's a good question.
Being able to take criticism when things just went wrong. Like, when I was younger, man, and I just get finaled in the back, and then you get somebody trying to coach you on what you did wrong there, and usually you already know. You just gotta go and hear it out from someone else. I was terrible at it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
you just gotta find the way to breathe through it first. Know that someone's going to want to talk to you about it, because usually when it's a mistake that someone feels like they need to butt in and give you some advice on, that probably costs the point. So just go back, bite your lip, hear it out. And, there probably is something good in what they're trying to say. It's just in your mind in the moment. You don't want to listen. So that was something that was definitely an obstacle for me to get over.
Dude,
and just finding that line. Oh, sorry. Real quick. I'll finish it real quick.
Yeah, keep going.
Finding that line of caring what's happening throughout a match and not worrying so much as well, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
You got to figure out how to navigate what you should just push forward through and not even pay attention. And then what you do need to give more attention to and fix.
Caring enough to try as hard as you can, but not enough to be afraid of making mistakes.
There it is. Perfect.
Yeah.
You said it.
Dude, I just remember playing on Aftermath with you, and when we were kids and stuff. And
losing my mind.
Yeah.
Man, that's just that's what hours of focus and determination builds up.
That's right. Dude, look
just
at
leave it all out there, man.
Look at you now. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having a good time.
That's my dog. All right. We got who we got up next? We got CM Harry. Alex, how much fun was it playing in another country again?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was one of the funnest trips I've had in a while. Kind of reminded me of the European events with how the crowd really gets emotionally involved when a big move was made, like that video you guys showed. The crowd actually was going crazy on both sidelines. And yeah, it was I was in Leon, and nothing against that city, but it's the hype I was hearing about, like somewhere like Guadalajara is like times 10 with what type of fun you can get into when it comes to Mexico. So I can only imagine if I went to a city that had like more of that nightlife and other things going on. So yeah, overall 10 out of 10 trip for sure.
Can we expect to see you on some more MXL event squad lineups with the Bastards? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been working with that crew for a couple years now, and it only gives me more time to work with them and like get actual on-field experience with them too. So it's a really good opportunity. I'm glad Arturo's running a good show over there. So yeah, definitely be back. I think I won't be able to make the last one they have in December, but next season for sure.
Shout out to Arturo, everything he's doing out there with the MXL.
Yeah, man. Dude, he was working his ass off in that tower. Yeah. And there's always one designated guy that just has to hear it all the complaints throughout the event. He's obviously the guy because he's the head honcho. And so I waited to use my complaint till the finals. So
he ran away from me. Literally, he hid up in the tower. When I had my one complaint,
he was in the tower.
He hid. Like, I don't mean like he told me he laid down so I couldn't see him. And I was like, is Arturo up there? And they were like, no, he's not here. They totally lied to me so that I couldn't complain about getting screwed. Like, damn it, Artie.
Yeah.
But I get it, because you can't make it seem like you're favoring your teammates. I totally understand from a business standpoint. And I was like, it's all good, Artie. I appreciate, like, he tries to be really fair. He tries to keep everything on time. He does a fantastic job. I mean, it's hands down the premier league in Mexico. It's the best paintball that they have. So he's doing great things for the sport down there. All right. My last question from the Discord is from Mark Paris.
Yeah.
He wants to know, when preparing for an event solo, what is something you dread or hate to do but find very, very rewarding for your individual skill set?
For my individual skill set. So is he talking about like training, prep, going
anything, something you do, not with the team?
Dude,
but does that help your skill set?
17. No.
Well, it has to help your skill set.
Something that helps my skill set.
I hate that.
When preparing for an event. Yeah.
I mean, there's not one thing that gets me ready, or it's I really don't know how to answer that one.
Okay,
we'll stick with the packing one. That was really funny. All right.
I feel like it helps me when I'm packed finally.
Yeah, it gives you clarity. You're like, all right.
I don't have to worry about it anymore. 17 seasons in, I still don't know how to pack.
Oh my God, dude.
I think last event, not this Mexico trip, but the last one, I only brought like one pair of underwear and socks. I totally forgot to do more.
That's pretty incredible, dude.
Dude, it's crazy, man. I was free balling most of the time.
Speed balling and free balling.
Look at that. Put that on a t-shirt.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
All right. We've digressed.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hold on. No, look, let's how do you guys answer that question?
Okay.
Well,
let's hear it.
So one thing, let's see. Preparing for an event.
Yeah. So for me, that's the thing, is there's nothing that I do that helps my skill set that I don't enjoy. So, whether it's certain things in the gym.
So you're not answering the question either.
No, exactly. I am. It's the question poses that I dread or hate part of the preparation, and that's not true. So so my answer is, because the question is, when preparing for an event, what is something you dread or hate to do but find very rewarding towards your individual skill set? So anything that helps me be better and helps my skills at the tournament, I truly enjoy doing, even if it sucks, even if it's hard, even if it's, and I know you're the same, Mouse. Tyler, I know you're the same. So like, there isn't anything that I dread. I don't dread waking up in the morning and going to the gym and pushing myself. I don't dread eating healthy. I don't dread cutting things out, whether it's activities or food or alcohol. I don't dread any of that. It's part of the process. And I would argue that I sometimes enjoy that more than the actual competition. Although, I don't know, I love the competition. Like when you actually get to see it all come to fruition and see everything come together, that's the best part of it. But I don't dread any of it. I really don't. Oh, well, no, that's preparing. I was going to say flying. The flying part sucks.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That one too.
I don't know if that counts as preparing, but
it doesn't. But
yeah,
those are the two things.
Totally.
Yeah, packing and flying.
Totally.
Packing and
Yeah,
flying.
flying for sure, because you have to find a way to like stay hydrated on the plane too. So it's like a pain in the ass to, you know, I always try to choose an aisle seat so that I can stay hydrated. And you know, I got to use the bathroom a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it.
Tyler, you got the same answer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't dread any part of the process, but
Right.
you know, isolated like push-up holds, I kind of dread those. It's kind of hard to do those for a long period of time. You hold yourself in an isolated push-up for like 2 minutes. I kind of don't love that, but it is very rewarding when you finish, you know. But I don't know, working out, all these different things, it's just a part of the process, and it's very necessary, and I find it fun. It's, you know, it's inspiring. I know we all find it like fun to get ready for this stuff.
For sure. All
Yeah,
right. Good job, boys.
Yeah, baby.
Good job.
Hey, dude, congratulations on the MXL win. My headphones have short-circuited, so I'm hearing the audio out of my computer, but we appreciate you being here, and let's do a shout out for Tigerware as well. What do we got going on with Tigerware?
Nothing new right now. Just still focusing on the product we do have in inventory. Kyle and I are still searching for the next thing as far as design for a headband or the next type of apparel. But yeah, I mean, we're sitting good. We just want to continue making appearances at either the small local events or try to work our way into the NXL soon. So yeah, our progression isn't going to stop. Tigerware.co, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, you guys have been crushing it. The designs look amazing. And if anybody wants to score some merch or some swag from Tigerware, be sure to go to Tigerware Co. Or you can hit up Alex Goldman at his Instagram and get you guys dialed in as well. You guys have been really passionate about it. I love the content you guys have been creating, the video, the optics, the music, everything has been really nice.
Yeah, it's just another way to try to show your expression paintball. And cool, just like being able to be open-minded to creativity, especially Kyle. I mean, he's really good at those videos, and he's shown me how to do a little bit of it as well. But yeah, it's humbling working with guys like Kyle and our other business partner. It's been a fun process.
Awesome, brother. Well,
yeah.
Same with Tyler and myself. We definitely get it, right? It's fun. We all of us grew up together in the game. It's really cool. We all have our own little business ventures in it. And cheers to continued growth, huh?
Yeah.
Cheers to future Hall of Famers.
We don't have that in paintball. It's Hall of Icons, bro. Get with it.
We'll make some gold jackets or something.
Let's do it.
Golf one.
Hell yeah. All right, Goldie. All right, appreciate it, brother. Yeah. We'll see you in the Discord.
All right, Papa.
Sure. You guys have a good one.
All right, dude.
You too. Dude.
Peace.
Later, boys.
Hell yeah, Goldie.
Yeah, Goldie. Love it. All right, Papa. Well, shoot. That was
another fun one. And
a good one and a heavy one, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Please, everybody, take it seriously of going above and beyond, like we talked about earlier, to help out in any way that we possibly can. And stay tuned to our Instagram as well. We'll be providing information on how you can help support. And let's stay connected and keep boosting each other in the paintball world and the world abroad, you know, outside of paintball as well.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, dude.
All right, everybody. Well, as always, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you soon.
We'll see you on 207. Let's go.
All right, Ty. Later, brother.
Peace, dude.
Peace. All right, PTG Nation, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we really hope you enjoyed the show. Really devastating times out there in Maui, so please pay attention to our Play the Game Instagram. We're going to be sharing anything that Paddy would like us to share and promote and help offer a way for people to donate and contribute to any sort of relief out there in Maui right now. It's just absolutely devastating, and I can't imagine what these families and individuals have been going through. So anything we could do to help, it's greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you guys for the support. Thank you for supporting PTG and the paintball community. We do have paintball family out there in Maui as well. So all of the love and support that we can show, the better. So paintball community, please show out. And as always, we will see you very soon.